Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Poppy Britt. Welcome back to another podcast. If it's your first time here, then welcome. And if you've been here before, then welcome back. If you're listening right now or if you're watching me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up. It actually really does help me if you guys subscribe. Most of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so please, giving me a like, giving me a comment, giving me a good rating costs $0 and it helps me out a lot. So yeah. Anyways, I am finally back. I feel like I'm finally mentally stable enough to talk and say on this podcast and just kind of share where I've been, what's been going on, what's been going through this head, the lessons I've been learning, everything. This last year has been a whirlwind and a roller coaster, and I would not have imagined I would be where I am today a year ago. So it's been a lot to process, and like I said, there's been a lot of lessons that I've had to learn, and through it all, I've just been asking myself what it's been teaching me, and just letting kind of the universe guide me. For a very long time, I just didn't really know what to say. I have been intending to make a video like this, but it's just, I knew that I was going through the process and there was things I was needing to learn, and so I didn't feel like I was in a space to speak yet because I hadn't gone through it yet. And it's not like I'm fully through it, but I've gone through enough to where I'm at peace, and I feel like I can finally begin to talk and feel like I am stable and okay and safe and at peace. So yeah, I also didn't know what I wanted to talk about or what the topic was going to be. I don't even know what I'm going to title this podcast. So I just allowed myself to kind of write and just free form whatever thoughts were coming up. And so I'm just going to go ahead and actually read what I wrote. Mind you, I kind of just let myself write and was kind of in a flow state. So I don't fully remember what I wrote, but it's things that I've been thinking about for a while. I also have some church notes on here, and as I get messages about different things, I write down about different quotes and stuff that resonate. So I have a whole list of everything that's been resonating for me. Maybe listening to what I've been going through, how I've been processing it might help someone feel a little bit more seen, a little less alone. And if I can do that, then I have served my purpose. And I started with, I don't know what else to call it other than being in the in-between, being in the middle of it all. They say you grow through what you go through, and that the only way is through. And I think I'm currently going through it. J. Cole has a lyric in the song Love Yours, which has been resonating very heavily for me. Always has. I have been working on my podcast room a lot because I wanted to make it a space that inspires me, where the energy just feels like I'm in my own energy. I have gotten way more into cleansing, into my spirituality and all of that stuff. And so I did a lot of cleansing before this. So if it looks a little bit smoky in here, I lit some Palo Santo. I got this cleansing spray that I sprayed around, cleanse the energy in here. So yeah, I posted this thing that says no such thing as a life that's better than yours, which has been a very heavy message for me lately. The quote that has really resonated was, good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. Think being broke was better. I think just the whole Love Yours song resonates so heavily with me. It's just crazy how connected everything is and the way that the universe shows up for me. Like the other day I was at the gym and they were playing Love Yours after I had literally just put up that sign up there. So it's just little messages from the universe confirming that it's listening and that it's hearing me. And in its essence, it reminds me that I'm so blessed. This has been a very reflective period for me. I moved in with my family and have been reflecting on the last 10 years since I left. Yesterday, I sat at the gym parking lot, and as I did, I realized I'm living in answered prayers. Being back home has really reminded me of 17-year-old me. I moved away from my parents' house when I was 17. So it just feels like I've come full circle, and it's crazy to reflect on the last 10 years and everything that I've gone through, every person I've met, every lesson I've learned, like everything. It's crazy to come full circle. And to top it off, everything that I left, my parents kept. Like, for as long as I've been gone, my parents have always had my room for me with all of my stuff. I've always had a room to come home to. I still had clothes from when I was in high school. I still had stuff from when I was in high school that I had to, when I came back home, go through. And so going through all of that stuff made me reflect on everything. And I found so much of my writing that I would do in high school. And it's crazy reading what 17-year-old me would write and wish for myself and manifest. And I just wish I could give her a hug. So I found a lot of stuff that has reminded me of 17-year-old me and of everything that I've gathered and all of the people that I've loved and everything that's made me me. I feel like I'm finally connecting all the pieces, and it's starting to all just kind of come together and make sense. So it's been a lot to reflect on. But yeah, I still have tickets from places I've been. My first concert ticket when I went to go see Nicki Minaj when I was 17. My first, my graduation sashes from college, pictures I would take with my friends from high school, and pictures from prom, and gifts that my best friend has given me throughout the years, and just everything. And it's just crazy, all the little pieces of people and places that have shown me love are just all in this space, and it just gives me such a sense of gratitude. I realized I have moved about 10 times since I left home. I have moved a lot, and I consider every house an era, and it's crazy to reflect on the last 10 years and everything that I've gone through. And I just know that my younger self would be really proud of me, and that in itself is a lot to be grateful for. I recently had someone trolling me about, you went to college only to be a server now. And for a second I was like, damn, maybe I am a fuck up. But then I realized, you know what? No, I'm constantly growing, constantly educating myself. Not only did I, in the last 10 years, graduate high school, which most of my family never did. I think now we've broken that cycle, and there's more graduates in my family. But back when I did it, I think it was me, my brother, and a few of our cousins. The highest education my mom had was a 6th grade education. My dad only had a 9th grade education. So for me and my siblings, all 3 of us now, to be high school graduates, for me to be a college graduate as an undocumented student and individual and a first generation student, that's an achievement on its own, and it's something that no one can ever take away from me, even if I am just a server. I don't think that there's a way for me or for anyone to fail. I just went to this meditation class for the 222 portal with one of my sorority sisters and my friend Nadia. We had a little moment where we sat with someone we didn't know, and we were just kind of talking through our thoughts, and she was just talking about how she didn't know if she was making the right choices and didn't know if she went the wrong way. And I had been asking myself too, dang, I accomplished all these things, but did I go the wrong way? Did I choose the wrong major? Did I choose the wrong job? Did I quit this job too early? Should I have dated someone else, or should I have never given this person a chance? And ultimately, I think what I've come to is that every single thing that I've gone through has made me who I am, and I don't think I would take any of it back, the good, the bad. They were also trying to shame me about the fact that I am living with my family, and I think I always considered myself a black sheep, so moving away just kind of fed into that, being the first one to move away. not because I was pregnant or because I was getting married, but because I was pursuing a college education. I was the first one in my family to do that. And even within that, like I felt so much shame coming back home because I was like, damn, did I fail? I realized I was able to take care of myself for 10 years. I took so much pride in being hyper independent and doing it all on my own. The universe kind of stopped me and showed me that I didn't have to do that anymore. I have worked. I know why I left. I understand the reason that I left. This is like a coming home to myself moment now. I remember 17-year-old me that wanted better for myself. When I was 17, I was sad, angry, misunderstood, insecure, and I felt like I was hard to love. And I read one of my journals and I was so mean to myself, and I would tell myself that I was worthless and ugly, and that I no guy would ever want me. Everything that these trolls try to tell me, I already told myself 10 years ago. And I wish I could hug myself and tell myself that that's not true. And so that sticks with me now. And I know that 37-year-old me will be reading this now and tell me like, no, it's a good thing that you kept going, and thank you for doing so. And I'm been telling my 17-year-old self, like, thank you for keeping on, and for working hard, and for wanting better, and for getting out there and pursuing things where you didn't know where you were going, or you didn't know what you were doing, or where you had people doubting you. Thank you for that. Back then, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I would self-harm, and I fantasized about not being here and about being gone. I remember I didn't think I would make it to 27. I was born in 1997. I moved to the United States when I was 7. I graduated high school and I moved out for college when I was 17, and I am coming home at 27. And if you know about astrology, then you know about a Saturn return. And so I know that everything I just went through was preparing me for my Saturn return. So I feel very at peace, and that's why I'm so into astrology and so spiritual, because when you look into all of it, everything kind of starts to make sense. Now I have learned some of the lessons. I don't think I'm ever going to be done learning as much as I would want to, but I've learned that not every lesson has to be learned the hard way. And I have learned how to release the need for control, because I think I had such a fear of control and such an anxiety that I was trying to control everything around me. And the final thing was for me to let go and just let the universe do what the universe needed to do. And I don't think I would have moved had the universe not forced me to. I don't think I would have made myself uncomfortable unless the universe made me uncomfortable. So in retrospect, I'm so grateful. Like, what seemed like the worst moments, or one of the worst moments, and one of the most I felt decepcionada. I don't know how to say that word in English, but I felt like such a failure and a letdown. And it felt like one of my lowest moments. In retrospect, I needed that. And I needed to learn how to let go and to trust God and to trust the universe. And I always felt like I didn't have anything to fall back on. And so I just had this fear of falling, and the universe kind of pushed me and made it so that I had no other choice. And along the way, I realized that I did have things and people to catch me, and that the universe always guides me and has always guided me and protected me and made sure that I was okay and that I was safe, and that in every moment where I felt like I was stuck or I couldn't get myself out of something, or like the universe has always shown up for me. So this was just another way of showing me that once again the universe and God have never left me, and I was seeking love and acceptance and all of these things and success from other people and from other things and I was looking for happiness outside of myself, when all along it's always been in me. I have always been supported. I have always been full of love and surrounded by love, and I was looking for it in all the wrong places. And again, like the song Love Yours says, like there's always going to be a house that's bigger than yours. There's always going to be a car that's nicer than yours. There's always going to be more. I was constantly chasing more. Like, okay, I graduated college. What's next? Okay, I did this job. What's next? Okay, I made this much money. How much more can I make? And I was constantly looking for more. And I never took the time to sit with myself and understand how far I've come and take it all in and thank God and actually soak it in and be in the present moment. I was constantly on go and on survival mode and just hustle mode, and God had to stop me and be like, yo, I was settling for things and treatment and people and situations because I thought that's as good as it could get, and so I had to be grateful for that. And I'm in a season of life where I've realized I deserve more. I am worthy of more, and wanting more does not make me a bad person. However, I need to realize what I want more of and what truly matters to me. And I'm grateful that God slowed me down, because otherwise I would have continued down a road where I was chasing things and people that were just really not meant for me. I was searching for love, acceptance, success, and approval from things outside of myself. Losing my job was the catalyst to all of this, because I had been working since I was 14 and prided myself in being hyper independent and thought that I could be self-made. And I've realized that it is impossible to be self-made, and that I don't want to be self-made. I want to be community made. I want to be loved and be in community with people that see me, that love me, that support me fully as I am. I don't want to be like fucking Elon Musk with all the fucking money in the world but an empty ass soul. That's not what I want for myself. God had to slow me down and be like, no, these are things that you need to fix before you can move forward. And, you know, moving away and constantly running away from it was never gonna actually get to solving the problem. And one of the biggest problems for me was my relationship with my family. And if anyone knows me, knows how much and how deep it goes and how much it means to me. So obviously it wasn't a relationship that I wanted to lose, but it was a relationship where it's crazy, because I was speaking to the individual that I was doing the class with, and she was talking about how she knows she needs to go to therapy, but she just couldn't get herself to take the first step, or she knows that she needs to better her relationship with her mom, but like it's good enough right now, so why get to the open a can of worms and get to the nitty gritty. And I think I was the same way, and I'm an anxious person at heart, and I'm trying to work through that, because anxiety just means you're living in the future instead of the present, and trying to control what you can't control. So I'm trying to stay as grounded as I can and remind myself that it's one step at a time, but that I need to follow. It's been this phrase that's been coming up a lot lately, but to follow the crumbs that the universe leaves me, to follow, okay, this feels good. Okay, I'm going to go here. Okay, this thought popped into my head to go get a haircut, and then my hairstylist posted that she has an available slot tomorrow. Okay, let's book that appointment. All right, I said I wanted to look into going back to school, and then I had an ad pop up. Okay, I said I wanted to do this, and then a podcast about it popped up. Okay, I was thinking this quote and it resonated with me, and then someone told me, okay, that's confirmation. And I think being slowed down and having so much time on my hands, because I was unemployed for a little while, we love that, it was very uncomfortable for me because I was constantly keeping myself busy, booked and busy, doing something, having 2-3 jobs, going out, doing this, doing that. And being unemployed made it so that I had so much fucking time. And it was like, either get up and figure it out and get yourself healthy and control what you can control, or rot in bed and let it consume you. And I'm grateful that I had a whole army of people and a community of people that didn't let me rot and sit with it. And being home, I have my brother, my little sister, my parents, I have my best friends. This whole period of time has been proof of the community that I've built and how loved and supported I am. And someone was saying that I would be homeless if it wasn't for my parents. And first of all, being homeless is not a moral failure. And I've worked with the homeless, and we are all closer to being homeless than we are closer to being billionaires. So let's all just, when you think it can't happen to you, it can. One thing I realized working with the homeless is that a lot of people become homeless because they don't have anyone to fall back on, because they don't have a stable family or a family that they could ever rely on. They don't have friends that they can trust. They don't have a community of people. And I realized I do, and I'm so beyond blessed to have that. I know that I have not only my parents, but I have my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my brothers, my extended family. I have my friends, my sorority sisters. I have such a beautiful community of people that would never allow that to happen. And I think that's also a testament to my character and to the work that I've done in the last 10 years to build that community for myself. And I think that's so far away that from being a moral failure, to know that I have a family that loves and supports me authentically. I have my friends that know that I'm working and want to work on myself and get better, so they invite me, like Nadia, to my the 222 portal retreat with my sorority sister leading it, and another one of my sorority sisters also was there, and there was such a beautiful group of women there. And knowing that I have my grandma and my ancestors to look upon, and knowing that there's been a lineage and a generation of people that have come before me and fought to get me to where I am, and knowing that my parents have put in the work to get me to where I am, that they themselves have broken generational curses, and I have the power within me to do so as well. That anything that we're going through right now has already happened, that we can learn from other people, that we can learn from community. Like, I feel like the universe wrapped its arms around me. Through all of the bad, God reinforced also all of the good in my life. It has shown me that what goes around comes around. It has allowed me to put my faith in the way that the universe works and the way that karma works. And I just believe that people that move with good hearts and good intentions will receive that back, and people will receive whatever they deserve. And so it's not my job to wish anything upon anyone or try to control anything outside of myself. Learning to let people be who they want to be, do what they want to do, things play out the way they need to, and to not stress myself out of the things I cannot control has been life-changing. And knowing that there is no wrong way has been extremely liberating. There is no wrong way for anyone to do life, because I am the first and only person that will experience this life of mine. So there is no comparison. There is no way to fail. During this time, I've also just been trying to focus and realign myself and figure out who it is that I want to be, what it is that I want to embody, look at the people that I admire and study from them and learn from them, and look at history and look at what I want to learn from my ancestors, and what I want to ignite me, and also what it is that I want to change, what generational curses I still have to work through, and what trauma I still have to work through. So yeah, that's It's been a very reflective time. I feel like I'm finally in a place where I am grounded. I'm in my own energy, and I understand that no one is coming to save me, and that I am able to create the life that I want for myself, and that the only validation that I need is that from God and from the universe, and that the universe is constantly communicating with me. I have this concept of glimmers of hope, and I just tell myself that there's good in every single day, and in the little tiny things throughout life. And I've started to be more grateful for every little thing. And I actually have church notes here from I've started to go to church. I've gotten closer to God, which I'm so grateful for. I've always been a very spiritual person, and I always loved going to church when I was little, but my parents were never forced it upon me. But I've always loved, I have all my sacraments, and I always enjoyed sitting in church. So I've gotten back into going to church, and these notes are actually from January 19th. It was talking about how God always sends us signs and symbols that he is with us, and that he is in everything. Also, that not all miracles have to be grandiose, that God creates miracles in our life every single day. Waking up is a miracle. My little nephew learning how to say another word or do another thing can be a miracle. Like, you get to create what a miracle and what success looks like for you. Sometimes we block our blessings by accepting less than we deserve. God wants more for us. God's plan is bigger. And I think it had to get me out of where I was, because I was settling, and God said, no, babe, you remember, you want bigger, you want more, you want peace of mind, you want genuine love, you want people who genuinely care about you, who genuinely support you. Like, that's what you asked for. So I'm gonna give it to you, but you're gonna have to get out of the situations that don't serve you. God shows up every day as long as we do. You take the first step towards him, he takes 10 steps towards you. And I've realized it's not the whole staircase, but just one stair at a time, and that's really all I can control. That was basically all of my writing. But I also have just things that have been very resonating for me. I don't know how to gather my thoughts, so I'm just putting them all here. And like I said, if it resonates with someone, then it resonates with someone, and if it doesn't, whatever. But just things, and I've heard, quotes I've seen, things that have resonated lately have been the number 333. The quote, cada día que vives es un experimento más. Growing old is a privilege. Hecate, she's a goddess that you should definitely look into if you don't know who she is. Fill your cup so that the abundance can pour into others. Heal the root so the tree is stable. The song Clouds by J. Cole. Love Yours by J. Cole. Rattle by Meg Thee Stallion. The Little Heart and the Little Heart Symbol by Bad Bunny. It's a song. Debí tirar más fotos by Bad Bunny. Love Hate Song by Wale. Mustard seed, the size of a mustard seed, that story in the Bible. Everything can change in a second. The pressure is meant to get you into position to receive clarity from God about who you're supposed to be in this season. God shakes your peace for the sake of purpose. Let them theory. Life is teaching me to let go, release the need to control, let people do what they need to do. La gente mala se destruye sola. All change is an act of creation, one step at a time. You are the sun, the moon, and the stars. You are the love you have been seeking. Eternal Sunshine by Janae Aiko, and the song, once again, Love Yours. But yeah, that's where I have been. That's what I've been thinking of and going through. And so yeah, I think moving forward, I think my podcast room is finally at a place where I'm happy with it and feel like I want to start creating more. I feel like I'm finally more at peace and more at ease. and kind of just going with the flow of life right now. And so I feel like I'm in a good space right now, and I will continue to create as I feel, and I will continue to write as I feel. And I know people are wanting certain podcasts from me. I know I said I would talk about the whole immigration and ICE raid and everything, and I do want to make a video about that. I just didn't realize people actually wanted a video like that, but also like what topics, what questions, what you want me to touch on. Like, obviously I know how I feel about it, but like what else? But yeah, I'm just gonna let universe guide me, and I'll speak on what I feel like I want to speak on, and just go through my days and see what life is trying to teach me in whatever moment, and see if I can share that with you guys, and hopefully it resonates or it makes you feel more at ease or whatever it is, and it finds whoever it needs to find. So yeah, anyways, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my other socials as well if you'd like, and yeah, take care of yourself.